Retro Rat here, coming at you with another pickups video. Today is August 27th, 2015. This is the stuff that I picked up in the past week and change based on waiting for the item to come in, etc., etc. Before we get into the video, well, let's go into the question of this week. There's actually going to be two questions. The first question is, have you ever gotten a referral? By referral, I mean someone that you bought games from gave you a friend's information that they were selling video games. I had purchased a lot off of eBay, asked if they had any other additional video games. They had mentioned that they had a bunch of other PlayStation games. They sent me a list. I wound up picking up 4 games. Unfortunately, out of the 4 games, only one was the correct game, and the one that was the correct game was the only one that actually was in a good enough condition for it to be worth going into my collection. I didn't even bother contacting the seller to get any money back because the amount of money they sold me the entire lot for was like $55 for Super Nintendo, bunch of quality Super Nintendo games, which I then traded in and sold and all that other good stuff. So I didn't even bother contacting the seller because he also gave me an awesome contact, which got me a lot more stuff, which is on the way. But that's another stuff that you're probably not going to see in the video because it's basically N64s, Mario Brother games, Smash Bros, all quality N64, Super Nintendo, and Nintendo stuff, and systems, controllers, and yada yada yada. Like I said, I'm going to keep my videos more based on my collection rather than me just showing, hey, I picked up an N64 that I'm going to flip, or hey, I bought this and I'm going to flip that too. I'm going to probably just show you stuff that I'm putting in my collection, stuff that I actually really care about, unless I've got a crazy yard sale find, then I'm going to show you the whole find and give you the whole story. So that's the first question. The second question is, have you ever had something on your want list and you've messaged a whole bunch of people, lots of groups, and you're trying to find the item that you want, and obviously for a decent price, no one's got it. A couple months later, someone messaged you, hey, this item just became available on this site, and someone else messaged you. I had 2 people message me. One actually created a second post in another group because he couldn't remember that I was one that was looking for the item. And the other person was messaging me as the guy was creating the post. It was pretty awesome. It was for the Saturn Bomberman manual. I purchased the cartridge and the case art about a year ago off my one buddy, who actually was one of the guys that messaged me in regard to the manual. Guy was selling it for $25 shipped, which is extremely good price. But I wasn't the first person in line, so I kind of, to negate the whole line of chain of commands, I messaged the guy. He said, there's one person ahead of you, but he's trying to get it for cheaper. I said, well, listen, I'll give you more than your asking price. I wound up paying $45 for the manual, which I still think was a fair deal. He shipped it overnight to me. I got it right away. Excellent condition. Thank you, Aaron, and thank you, Jordan, for messaging me and creating the Facebook post to bring that into me. Okay. The one Super Nintendo lot that I told you, it was actually $65, and then it was $20 for the PlayStation game, so it was a total of $85. One of the games for the Super Nintendo was Stunt Racer FX, if you remember. I got the box and manual for that, so now that is 100% complete. And the game that was actually in good condition was Castlevania Lords of Shadows 2. Pretty good condition. One of the last ones I needed for the complete Castlevania collection. I'm missing basically the current gen systems and the Commodore 64 one. Anybody's got the Commodore 64 one complete in box and you're not wanting a ridiculous number, message me down below. Local guy who does all my flea markets and stuff, that buys and sells me the video game stuff that he finds, had a nice lot of common PS2, common Wii games, Wii systems, and stuff like that. And in that lot was a Star Fox complete in box in excellent condition. I actually never knew that this was there, the little Star Fox characters, because I never actually owned the original Star Fox. I've always had the Star Fox 64. That's definitely going in my collection. And the final one, I went game hunting on Sunday to all my local video game shops, and because the baby wanted to get out of the house, wife wanted to cook dinner, so why not go game hunting? Went game hunting, went to my first game store. They're all the same chain. It's J Street, Plymouth Meeting, King of Prussia, King of Prussia. There's one also in Cherry Hill near me, but I don't want to drive that far. Go to the King of Prussia one, do my trade-in. Go to the other King of Prussia one, it's on the other side of the mall, which they're closing that one down to make one giant one in King of Prussia. Anyway, while he's doing the trading, and I don't see anything in that store. And then after I come back, I get my credit slip because there's nothing really that I wanted. I called my wife to see if I owned a game because I didn't know if I owned it or not. The game I wanted was Marvel vs. Capcom for Dreamcast. I didn't own it. Could have picked it up, but she didn't answer the phone, and I didn't want to buy it and then return it. Go to the one in Plymouth meeting. I received a call from my buddy earlier in the day. Hey, are you still looking for this game? I said, yes, I still am. He said, I picked it up for you. So he's got that set aside for me, so that's a trade for another video. I still don't own the game yet. So I go into the store. They just got a massive RPG lot. PlayStation 2, PSP, DS, 3DS, and a few PS1. I want to say the guy traded in 200 or 300 total games. Of the games, there was probably like 140, 150 RPGs, most of which I have already owned, and these are the ones that I wound up picking up. Now, all these games, the game stores know what their prices are. There's nothing I'm catching anyone slipping, saying that I paid $5 or $2. These were all fairly close to eBay retail for almost every single game. Some were even a little above eBay retail. But I had tons of trading credit with this game store. Whenever I get common stuff in the lots, I bring them literally. I take all the quality stuff that I'm going to sell to make quick money. I sell that. Stuff that I'm going to sell on lots on eBay, I sell that stuff. I take the stuff I want out, get all the money, recover all the money back, and all the extra games, I literally put them in a giant tote, bring the tote to this local game shop. They give me fair credit on the stuff that is semi-decent, like the Grand Theft Autos, and like the stuff that is more easily for them to sell. But like the Nintendogs and stuff like that, they're not really giving good credit for it, but I still give it to them all. Anyway, just for one shot. I had a lot of credit left over, so all the stuff was based on credit. I think I wound up spending $12 total out of my own pocket. We're going to start with the 4 PSP games. I actually bought 5 PSP games, but one I already owned, and I wound up giving it to my buddy for a fairly good price. It was Gem Saga. I'm missing the first name. Something Gem Saga. Alright, so Adventure to Go. It's a Natsumi title. These are all complete. This is Dragoner's Aria. This is Popolo Cross. And this is Yarger's Union. Those were the PSP titles that I knew I didn't have. I didn't want to buy a bunch of stuff that I had, return it as well. I did wind up getting one DS game that's not here that I wound up returning because it didn't have a manual. I didn't pay attention to it. But here we go for the DS games that I picked up. Avalon Code, Summon Night Twin Age, Sands of Destruction, which I heard was a really good game, Rhapsody, a musical adventure, Rune Factory, a fantasy Harvest Moon, Heroes of Mana, Ulterior Annie, Black Seagull, Blades of the Exiled. And when I returned the one DS game that I knew that had the manual missing, there was no manuals on eBay. If there was, I would have just grabbed it and been done with it. I wound up getting Shining Force Neo for the PS2 and Imperial Fantasia. It's another musical style RPG, just like Rhapsody. Guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment down below and give me the thumbs up. Have a great day.